love overall. Mash it up!
I'm Marty. I'm over here on Simon Street. Introduce yourselves and tell me where you're at.
Awesome. This is Joe from L.A.B.
I'm Miharo from L.A.B.
Thanks for having us, Marty.
Yeah.
My pleasure. Are you in Auckland or whereabouts are you?
Yeah, we're just up here in Auckland doing a bunch of around the album. So, yeah, really excited today to release
today's the day, right?
Today's the day.
So how's it feel? Is there do you wake up and there's like a queasy feeling in your stomach?
Yeah, it was hard to go to bed last night because the album went live at midnight.
Right.
And we got to bed about 11:30, I think. And it was like, do we stay up and wait for the album release, or do we go to bed and try and, because we're up at 7 this morning, a bunch of interviews. Woke up to this morning to the buzz, a whole bunch of messages. And yeah, it's beautiful, man.
Excellent. I mean, 2020 has been a weird year, but it's been a pretty good one for you guys. So we should probably just talk about that. You're kind of bookending the year with this release, and you've had a couple #1 hits. How do you look at the year?
Yeah, we've been really blessed, and it's been an awesome year. We've got an awesome team backing us, and managed to strategically plan out significant events, I guess.
Yeah, we had a massive show halfway through the year at Spark Arena, which wouldn't have happened without COVID. Also in conjunction with the band taking off within the year and the last album and stuff like that. It was just a perfect storm, if you know what I mean.
COVID's kind of acted as a bit of a dam, and the river's been building up.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good go. That's not like that.
Very good. And so the album, which is called 4, I believe, was that recorded during lockdown, or what were the circumstances of how you guys put it together?
We started planning in lockdown. Had the Zoom meetings like this, all kind of start ideas and concepts. But as soon as we could, we got down to Wellington, the surgery studio, record, and we kind of get in there for a week at a time, like a week in, week off, and try and write in the studio as much as we can, capturing the creation of the song. So it's worked for us so far.
Right.
Yeah, we got most of the album done over winter. We had those first 2 months, March, April. Sorry, we were meant to start recording, but we had to hold off to winter, and we managed to get the bulk of it done over those 3 months.
Right.
Yeah.
And so recording at the surgery, what were the sessions like? Who was was there somebody in charge kind of overseeing everything, or was it a more collaborative effort? How do you guys work when you get in there?
Yeah, we've been going to Wellington for the past 5 years, recording at the same studio, and the process is obviously more refined, every time we record a new album, but the way that we record and the people that are in charge, it hasn't changed. Lee's our engineer, Lee Preble, Brad Corder, who's our drummer, is our main producer and songwriter.
Right.
And then that combined with Uda, our bass player, who also co-produces and engineers, because we're in the studio 24/7 for a whole week. We just stay in there for 5 days straight. So Lee will produce engineer from 9 till 5, and then Uda will take over for the night shift kind of thing, and we'll record right through the night. It's very collaborative when it comes to putting the song down. We all get in a room, jump on the instruments, throw ideas around, really try and capture a moment. Instead of bring up heaps of stuff, we try and the guts of each song is at least 3 or 4 members in the room playing together,
right,
and writing together. And because when you do it that way, you really get the arrange. You can feel where the song needs to go as an arrangement as you're playing it. It's much more of an organic process. You're capturing the song from the song being nothing to writing it to forming it into something all within a 2-day period. So you never get stuck on demo-itis kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which is a thing, yeah.
Now the album starts with a track called My Brother, which is kind of chilled and funky, but it's also got these strings all over it. Are they, I have to ask, are they real strings? Because these days you can never tell. But,
music's in my heart, I can't deny. I wake up every day to hear the high. You can't take away my singing days. Living on the street, but I won't change.
Yeah, they're real strings, eh?
Yeah, real strings. We got the black quartet.
Yeah, they're from up here in Auckland, and we set the tracks up to him, and he arranged 3 tracks for us: My Brother, Operator, and Yes I Do. Which is really cool. We had strings on the last album on 1 track, and we just love that texture and that sound. It just gives the songs a bit of a sonicness, So yeah, it was cool to use, and we've actually used them live before as well, which has been really fun.
Great.
We plan on doing for a couple of our big shows. Summer, we're going to bring in the strings and stuff like that.
yeah, because I can imagine, since you've had so many big shows this past year, now you got a new album out. Summer's here. People are going to want to see you. You're going to have to do something. Thinking everybody's seen me 6 months ago. You have to do something different, right?
That's right. Yeah, and it's so nice to have new content, new music to play for the people as well. It's this new album. I mean, this morning it's just gone absolutely berserk. It's exciting. In a week's time, it'll be exciting to see what songs people are gravitating towards, and that'll help us shape the set for summer.
Right. One of the songs I wanted to touch on was Yes I Do, which has a very kind of a Stevie Wonder vibe to it. I was wondering if that was in the back of your guys' heads when you were putting it together.
Do you know what's going wrong? Take me by the hand, sing, yes I do. Hear the I singing song. Can you be the one sing, yes I do?
Yeah, definitely. It's bands like Chicago and Earth, Wind & Fire and Stevie Wonder, that whole kind of era. We love that sound, strings and the horns. So it's definitely a tip of the hat to that style for sure.
And was there sax in there somewhere?
Yeah.
Yeah, tenor sax, I think, at the end of that one. Louisa Williamson from Wellington. I think that's the first time we've had real horns on a song, right?
Yeah, we had some horns on the second album for one song, but very subtle kind of thing. But this is the first time, having like a sax solo at the end of a song. And,
right.
It's got a really jam vibe to it. We've recorded a Radio New Zealand version of that song. Hey,
yeah. We filmed a video that'll come out, and
oh, good.
It is just a big jam. Yeah, extended the solo and
just jamming
swing to
hard.
town.
It's fun. It's that chord progression is used a lot, and there's so many songs that have used that chord progression. But it's such a fun thing to play.
Yep.
It's like playing a blues or something. I don't know.
Very good. And then the album closes out with a song called Natural, and you've got an acoustic version and then like a full band vocal version. There's instrumental and vocal. So why on that particular song did you choose to present it like that?
You're that morning light, your whispers can tell the lines grow within where I am, you begin. It's
we kind of came up with the idea of the acoustic version, and
Miharo came in with the keys. He had the idea that
and brought it to the boys, and we kind of just jammed it in the room, which is pretty much the acoustic version. We just, that was like, I don't know, straight off the bat, that's what we were doing. Thought it'd be cool to have an instrumental song, but listen back to it, we're like, oh, there's definitely a song in there we can pull out. So
we boys sat down and wrote some lyrics, and then we did a full band version with the drums and the bass, and electric guitar instead of acoustic, and I love listening to those two and together. You know, you listen to the acoustic version first, and then you listen to the band version with the vocals. It's plus it gives all our listeners. It's exactly the same arrangement on both tracks, so it gives our listeners a chance to have a go at karaoke and sing.
Exactly.
sing
There you go.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was thinking. And your single, the most recent one, YOY, went to #1, debuted at #1. And that's like your second #1 this year, which I think is some kind of record for New Zealand bands. So how does that, do you think about things like that? Does it have any kind of effect on you guys?
Yeah, it's crazy. We've been, especially this morning, we've kind of just been so many people listening to the album and stuff like that. You hear of records being broken or made, and you kind of, it's all just happening at once.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a crazy couple of weeks, man. It's since YOY came out, we had the music awards about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and
right.
People's Choice. It's just you know, it's speaking volumes, and we're just so pretty overwhelmed, to be quite honest, and of New Zealand music overall. You know, not just for L.A.B, but for everybody at this moment in the world, where there's no concerts overseas, and we're the only ones celebrating live music in the world. On this scale. It's incredible, man.
Yeah. I mean, let's face it wasn't that long ago. I think you guys were playing around the corner here at the power station. You were like 3rd on the bill or something, and
that's right. Yeah.
And now you're got 2 #1s. You got this album coming out, the 4th one. Are you surprised, or how are you connecting with this audience? What do you think is it about your music that connects?
I think from day one we've involved our audience in the process of the songwriting. We showed them warts and all. We showed them videos of where we sleep and stay in the studio, how we write our songs.
Yeah.
Built an audience from way back in 2015 to today. We've done the same thing. We've made sure that the crowd has been involved in the journey, and it's given the fan base like a piece of ownership of the art, if that makes sense. It's like they feel like they're part of that. Like, yeah, man, I love this. I heard this when they were recording it, and I remember when Joel was doing the vocal takes and Miharo was doing the keys. It's like because we show stuff. It's not a secret. There's no secrets in L.A.B. It's all out on the floor, and I think the listeners, we're in a world where everything is polished, and it is so flash and fancy. We kind of don't want to do that. We want to show the people what it's really like and how hard it is, and the vocal takes sound like shit, and the songwriting process. It's
Yeah, anybody who spent any time in a recording studio watching a band work realizes how tedious it can get very quickly. So it takes all the glamour away from it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I read somewhere where you guys kind of describe your organization as kind of a well-oiled machine, and which sounds great, but it also sounds like there's the fear of possibly just coasting on that well-oiled machine. Do you have to do anything to push yourselves out of your kind of comfort zone to do something different?
I think with the people involved, it's almost impossible to coast. I think. Brad
definitely. There's no sense of contentment.
Straight on to the next thing.
Yeah. We haven't sat still for 5 years, and we don't plan on sitting still for the next 5 years. There's always something, and even on the creative side, we're trying different things. We're always setting challenges. As a vocalist, singing different styles, and Brad's influence as a producer, just always learning off him, you know, yeah, we're always on our toes. He always keeps everybody on their feet. You know, Brad's one of these guys that, you know, shoots for the moon and lands on the stars, and he's incredible foresight. He can see so far ahead, and he's got such massive ambition that we just are blessed to have somebody like him
trying to catch up.
Yeah, he just drives the train, man, and we follow.
Very cool. So speaking of following, what's following for you guys? You got the record out today. It's like 2 weeks from the end of the year, or even less, I think. What are you looking forward to next year?
Looking forward to the gigs coming up, 29th, 30th, 31st.
We're playing at the Bowl of Brooklands and on the 9th of January, which is going to be a big show.
Right.
We're expecting 10 to 12,000 people at that. We've sold about 10,000 tickets, so that's going to be epic. And then we've got another massive headline show at Mount Smart in the end of March.
Right.
To run in the summer. So yeah, it's pretty much just touring for the next 3 months.
Cool.
Playing some new songs.
Yeah, we're looking forward to seeing what the album does, you know, like and just seeing what people gravitate towards. And that'll be a big one for us to know what to put in the set, you know.
Right. And how do they usually get that information to you? Do you have a ongoing kind of communication somehow? Facebook,
we can see the stats on the songs literally on the minute. Like I can tell you right now how many people are listening to L.A.B. It's quite. There is currently. Wait for it. 4,008 people listening on Spotify.
Nice.
You know, and in a week's time, I'll be able to go through this, and it'll tell me exactly where each song's been played, how many streams it's had in each country. It's crazy, man. This, you know, it's a breakdown of everything, and that's just Spotify alone. You know, you've got YouTube, you've got iTunes.
Yeah. Now, if only Spotify would pay you guys a decent sum for all of that.
Hey, that's right. Imagine $1 for every stream. Holy shit.
You'd be rolling in it. Well, you never know. Somebody will bound to come up with something that's a little bit better, and everybody will glom onto it, hopefully. And
I saw a thing. Jimmy Page was trying to have a go. Did you see that article? With Jimmy Page?
Yeah.
Hey, sort it out.
Yeah, sort it out. Very good. Well, thank you guys for talking to me, especially on this big day, you know, taking the time out to spend with me. So good luck with the record, and we'll see you somewhere on some big festival stage in the next couple of months, I'm sure. So have fun.
Man. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.